Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. And it is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So, yesterday on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals and asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the rooster, the cheetah, and the koi fish. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you, because that is where your message will be. So for those of you who picked the rooster, rooster is all about awakening. It is the one that crows in the morning when the sun rises. So if you're attracted to rooster, this could be a time of your life where a new day is dawning. It could also be a time where you need to wake up. Perhaps you're sleepwalking through life. Perhaps you're just going through the motions. The rooster is really telling you to be present, aware, and clear. First card for Rooster is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Emperor card. And when I think of the Emperor, I think of responsibilities. So I feel like this is going to be a time when you're waking up to the things you need to take control of. It might be a time to establish a firm foundation for your future success because the Emperor is numbered four. And fours are like squares, they have all to do with building a foundation, creating stability or security. Also, the Emperor in most decks is holding like a globe in his hand. I don't know if he is here. Yes, he is. He's holding the orb. And what that's a symbol for is worldly power, but also exerting that power out in the world. And so I feel like it's so important for you, if you pick the rooster, to assert yourself, to be confident, to go out into the world, and to create some sort of effective change. And this is also just a time for you to really believe in your own leadership skills because the Emperor is all about taking charge. Next is going to be advice from your inner wisdom. If you picked the rooster, and we got the Nine of Swords, which for me is the card of like worry, 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 anxiety. The Nine of Swords represents the sorts of fears that stop you before you even begin. And the advice from your inner wisdom is not to allow these inner fears to talk you out of your best opportunities. Sometimes we know we have to go out into the harsh, cold, cruel external world and assert ourselves in some way. And that can feel very vulnerable, sometimes even frightening. And so that Nine of Swords gets activated where you're thinking of the worst case scenarios. And then if you're doing that, you're kind of like stopped from even going forward with your goal or your dream. The Emperor is telling you to fight for or to be brave for the thing that you want to affect change with. And the fact that there's going to be some fears propping up around it, that's just a sign or a signal that this is where your growth is happening and this is where your breakthrough is. So I feel like you have to stand up to those fears and act anyway. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week, it's the Maenads. They're the spirits of wildness and fertility. And the quote here is, I let go completely, following my instinct and pleasure freely. And the Maenads were the followers of Dionysus, so they would just go crazy. They just let themselves go in the mountaintops. This could be a time when you're just taking action and you're letting go of this fear of, oh my God, am I doing the wrong thing? Is this going to work out? Am I okay? The Maenads are saying, stop taking yourself so seriously. It might be a time to be free, but it might also be a time where you dare to go toward what brings you pleasure in your life, what you enjoy. And, fear be damned as you go toward this thing. With that Nine of Swords, I just feel like this is a time where you really have to step into your courage and let yourself go. You might be too self restrictive at this time. And so that rooster is waking you up to self defeating habits. So that is the rooster. Next, we're going to go into the cheetah animal spirit. And we all know the cheetah is known for its speed. It can run up to 70 miles an hour. But cheetah is also an animal that can only harness that energy for short bursts. So if you're attracted to cheetah, this says you can do amazing things and you might want to move fast on them. However, you might also need to know that you need to moderate your energy levels. You might need to pace yourself, and you might need intermittent rest so you're not just pushing yourself to the grindstone. First card for Cheetah is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Six of Pentacles or the Six of Coins. And the Six of Coins is saying that there's angels unaware on your path, helpers that are going to be appearing for you. This can represent sort of like these magical synchronistic meetings or helpers that come into your path that sort of open up doorways for you. The trick with the Six of Pentacles, though, is that you have to be open to being helped when it comes up. So if you're insisting that you do it all your way, or you're just going to do it all by yourself, and you're not really even thinking about other people or opening up or being vulnerable, you can miss the opportunity. And so I feel like with Cheetah, it's like counterintuitively slow down a little bit and look around you at where the opportunities to connect are, or who can be helpful to you in your own suit. And then also, Six of Coins can sometimes represent that you might be playing the role of helper for others. So don't be surprised if there's sort of this karmic, you're receiving good things from others, but then you're also being required to give something of yourself as well. Really give yourself to the spirit of generosity this next week. The advice from your inner wisdom is another Pentacles card. And here we got the Seven of Pentacles. So 6 and 7, and I promise I shuffled these beforehand, but when I see cards that come in sequence, it can really indicate that there is a natural progression or order of things that you're going through. It might be concerning your career, your job, or the things in life that make you feel purposeful or give you value. A lot of people just look at pentacles as money, and they can mean that, but they can also represent what is of value to you, what gives you a sense of worth in the world. And in the case of the Seven of Pentacles, this says that you've planted seeds, you've been patient, and they're growing. But they're needing not a huge overhaul right now. Instead, you're just needing to tweak your path a little bit during this next week. So accept that there might be some help or guidance on this path, especially anything that has to do with your life's purpose, your work, those sorts of things. But it really does say that you want to be open to that influence from other people. You might also want to pace yourself with the energy. The Seven of Pentacles is all about patience, pacing yourself, not pushing too hard. So I just feel like there's minor adjustments here that are important for the cheetah, not huge, broad sweeping things. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you, oh, look at that, for the cheetah is Hecate. She's the Titan goddess of sorcery and the crossroads. She's got the triple heads. And her card says, I follow a path of magic and welcome baffling events as a sign of the divine. Hecate's talking exactly about that Six of Pentacles energy, which is that there are going to be just people, situations, serendipitous, crossroads that are affecting you that you just want to pay attention to. There's divine help being offered. And it might be with something that you've been really patient with. You've just been like, God, I've been waiting forever. When is this going to move through? And yet there might be these just sort of magical moments, these little intersections where you know that you're seeing a sign, where you know that you've been visited by the divine, where you keep seeing this color or this animal and it means something. So pay attention to these signs, these signals, because Hecate is guiding your path at the crossroads right now. And then finally, we have the koi fish, which is normally a symbol of abundance and plenty. And koi can just indicate that if you're attracted to this, this might be a time when you're really opening yourself to abundance consciousness in your own life, wealth consciousness. You might need to change your thinking of, I don't have enough, or there can't be enough, or I can't succeed, to there's plenty, there's more than enough, and I'm going to get my piece of the pie too. So I feel like koi fish could indicate that this is a time to open up to that plentitude. First card for koi fish is, where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we got the Knight of Coins. And of all the knights in the tarot, the Knight of Coins is the one who can sometimes be the most frustrated with his expectations. He feels like something isn't quite living up to his grandiose ideas. And so, one way you can actually banish abundance consciousness or wealth consciousness in your life is by affirming your disappointments, by constantly rehashing them and revisiting them, and sort of like telling yourself this narrative, this dialogue, where it's like, well, of course, this never happens for me because this is what always happens, and blah, 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 and that's why I can't succeed. That needs to go when we see the Knight of Pentacles. You need to challenge your narratives this next week. You might need to challenge what you think is possible for you. And you might need to break out of limitations you're placing on yourself. Your narrative might be saying, well, it's because they always do this to me, and it's because I never get this opportunity, and it's because of this. And it's not about they or them or anybody else, it's about you. And so the Knight of Pentacles is telling you to break out of self limiting narratives that you're telling yourself at this time. He can also indicate that there is hardship or challenges that you might be going through, but it's in service of attaining wisdom. So we learn more when there's a challenge. We become stronger when there's a challenge. It isn't this conspiracy of the universe against us to just keep us stuck all the time or in a victim mindset. So it might be a time when you're really harnessing your own power and you're really looking at some of these challenges as opportunities to grow and to become wiser and stronger and better. The advice from your inner wisdom this next week is just what I was talking about. It's that Three of Swords card. Three of Swords can represent betrayal. But I once heard a quote that all betrayal stems from self betrayal. And what that quote might just indicate is that we only open ourselves up to betrayal when we're just betraying ourselves, when we're staying in something longer than it's useful for us. And in the case of swords, this can be a mindset, a thought pattern. So I do feel with these two cards for the koi fish, it's like you're breaking out of this triangular thinking that's causing you to feel like you're betrayed or that you're somehow limited by things. You're not. It's time to really look those things in the eye. Draw out the swords from your heart. Sure, you might have had some disappointments in the past, but it doesn't have to dictate the narrative of everything moving forward in your life. It's not all or nothing. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you appropriately is Heracles or Hercules. He's the protector and he's also a figure of strength. His card says, "In focusing my power, I achieve great deeds, making my efforts immortal." And Heracles is that archetype of bravery, of going up against all the odds and succeeding anyway. And so you need to recast yourself, the character of yourself, as the hero in your own life plot, in your own story. And you don't want to stop on the chapter where the hero experiences the setback or the defeat, but you want to just get up, dust yourself off, get back in the ring. Be strong, be courageous, confront those challenges. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you like my readings, you will absolutely adore a one on one tarot session with me, and you can book one at elliotoracle.com. I also appreciate all of the views, all the likes, the subscriptions. So if you do find this video useful, please do share it with a friend. The channel's been growing so beautifully in the last year or two, and I can't thank you all enough for it. And otherwise, I will just see you again next week as I see you every week for the Oracle Reveal. And you can also tune in for my monthly tarot scope. So if you missed it, I have every month a tarot scope where I go through each astrological sign and I give you a little card reading based on what you might want to be mindful of during the month. So with all that said, I will see you again here next week. So please do take care.